I made an appointment with a medium so that I could ask my dead husband, Hook, a question. I walk into this medium's office, which was not a darkened space with candles, but a well-lit business office with a desk and 2 chairs. I sit down and I begin. So, should I tell you who it is that I want to connect with and why? The medium puts up both palms of her hands. Tell me nothing. I will invite those who wish to connect with you to come forward. I will ask you if you recognize them. If you do, I will ask you for a name. I'll be writing everything down on this piece of paper. At the end of our session, I will give you these notes. Now, even though Hook wasn't the only dead person that I knew, I just simply wasn't expecting anyone else to show up. The medium begins her first 3 descriptions, and she shares information that is so specific and private, known only to me and that other person, that they're immediately recognizable. Grandma, Dad, Mom. Now, the medium did tell me that sometimes people may show up at a younger, healthier version of themselves than when they had died. So as she begins the next description, this is a young male, mid-30s. I think, oh, Hook is showing up, not when he died in his 50s, but a younger, hotter version of himself in his 30s. Yummy. The medium keeps going. They are touching their hands one on top of the other. This usually means that they died by their own hand. I start shaking my head slowly back and forth, not because I don't recognize this person, but because I'm trying to stave off the memories. The medium misinterprets this to mean that I don't recognize him, so now she's writing and she's talking faster. I'm feeling sibling, someone very close to you in age. There was a deep, deep connection. And then she stops writing and she looks up, and there is horror in her eyes. He says that you found him and that you laid down with him. I rushed to explain. It was the day of the burial, after the cemetery. My sister and I were determined to find where our 35-year-old brother had jumped off that bridge in Michigan, falling 120 feet down. The impact so forceful that it left an imprint in the grass below. We found that imprint, and I laid down in it, positioning my body just as his had been when it landed. At the time, we were only 1 year apart. And now I'm in this medium's office and I'm crying. And I hear her saying, he's at peace now. He's with your parents and your grandmother. They're all together. It's kind of like a party. All of this unexpected communication with dead loved ones is incredibly heartwarming, but it's also very emotional. And I still haven't spoken to the person that I need to speak with the most. So I ask, is there anyone else? The medium says, there's someone back there, but they're just not coming forward. Usually, when that happens, it's because when the person was in this life, they didn't believe in this sort of thing. I roll my eyes because I could recognize my scientist of a husband in any dimension. She says, I can ask them to come forward again, but I cannot make them. And I grit my teeth. Oh, will you just tell him to get here already? The medium says, okay, they are here. Let me describe. This is a male. They were in the middle of their life When they left, they had a great deal of pain in the abdomen area. I see them, they were someone who worked outside with their hands in dirt. And I let the medium know that my husband, Hook, had been 59 years old when he died of pancreatic cancer. And although he was a professor of biology in the classroom, he was also a field entomologist. And his life's work was searching for nests built by insects in the dirt and in sand. The medium looks at me. He says that you have a question for him. Yes. Can I tell you the question? No, she says, do not say the question out loud. Ask it only in your head. He will answer through me. So I ask in my mind, is it okay if I write the book? And the book is a drafted manuscript of the story of our lives and his death and my grief. The medium proceeds to answer a question that she has not heard. He says that you were writing a different book first, and I lose it. And I begin arguing with my dead husband through this medium. Oh, will you tell him to shut up about that stupid book? Why does he keep going on and on about it? The book he's referring to was a career book, and I had been writing that. But once he was diagnosed, everything in our lives changed, and that book held no importance for me anymore. And in one of our conversations before he died, I said, you know, people are going to want me to write a book about all of this. Meaning, I'm going to want to write a book about all of this. His immediate response was, no. But he said no to everything. His students called him Dr. Hook, but sometimes I called him Dr. No. And I wasn't in that medium's office there to ask him for permission so much as I was asking for his blessing. The medium says, he says that you actually have another question. And even though we are separated by death, my husband still knows me better than I know myself. This time, the medium says, I want you to ask the question out loud. Is it okay if I fall in love again? And now my tears are starting to come again. And the medium says, he wants you to be happy. Okay, but that's not an answer. He knows that you're ready. That is still not an answer. He knows that it's time. Oh my God, is he not going to answer the question? Yes, the medium is saying. He's saying yes, but he's also saying, let go. I would like to say that I left that medium's office and I immediately let go, because he did at least say that, yes, I could write the book. But what I have finally figured out, and it's taken me all the way until today, is that it was less about who I wanted to connect with and more about who was willing to show up for me. Grandma, with her unconditional love. My father, with his visible strength. My mother, relieving me of regret. And my brother, bringing closure and peace. And Hook, a little bit of a hard time, but also the motivation to keep writing and the willingness to fall in love. Thank you so much.